My religion does not allow me to say anything bad about Paramore, but tonight I might have to be a sinner. No, just kidding. I feel like Paramore is one of those bands that it's impossible for them to release bad music. They don't have a single bad album, but they definitely do have some that I don't like, and unfortunately, I feel like this is why I might be one of them. After a long 5 years, a lot of drama, breakups, comebacks, and solo albums, Paramore is back with their new album, This Is Why. And for today's video, I'm gonna share with you my thoughts on it. We're gonna go over the track list, and I'm gonna be very honest whether I would buy it or not. But before we jump into it, can you please like the video and get subscribed? I listened to the album in 4 different contexts. In a live stream, a listening party on TikTok, so I was talking to other people while listening to the album for the first time, alone in my room with the headphones on, while doing my morning routine. I'm a horrible human being with questionable morals when I wake up. So if I like a song while doing my morning routine, it's because the song is really good. And while cleaning the house, just as background music. I think I'm gonna do the listening parties all the time, by the way, because I had so much fun. It was a very nice way to interact with you guys, to do a react, and we all just listened to the album at the same time. But it was also useful to me when I listened to the album for the second time alone with the headphones on, and the album was completely different. I know that usually music sounds better when you are with the headphones on, but in this case, the difference is way too much. It's definitely not an album for you to listen to with other people, unless these other people are like Paramore fans. It's just not gonna be an album for you to have as background music. Even though the first single, This Is Why, totally played me and made me a fool because I thought the album was gonna be more hyper and energetic and things like that, it's actually the opposite. It's definitely an album that you have to listen. The details is what makes it. The instrumental is very good. The production is very good. Of course, Hayley is always very good. And the lyrics are very good. So everything about the album is very good. It's just that it was an album that I totally did not like while I was getting ready for this video right now. I did not like it when I was doing my morning routine. I did not love it when I was in the live stream. Instead of making me feel energized like I was expecting to feel, judging by the first 2 singles, This Is Why and The News, I felt the opposite. I'm gonna explain better in 1 second. Hold on. I was never a huge fan of Paramore, but I've always been a bitch for Brand New Eyes and Hayley Williams. And again, I totally changed my mind after seeing them at When You're Young festival because they're so good live. They are so good. I could talk about it for hours, but I'm not gonna do that right now. And that's totally not relevant for the video. I just needed to share it somewhere. And I know that Brand New Eyes was released like 300 million years ago. I do know that. But for me, going from Brand New Eyes to This Is Why was way too much because the contrast is way too much. It was literally like growing up too fast. Again, as someone who doesn't follow Paramore that much, or that is not in that stage of life yet, This Is Why is an album that doesn't really make much sense to me. It's an album that I didn't really click with. Maybe it's just because I'm still in the Brand New Eyes mindset, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong, again, it's a great album, but it's just that Paramore members are adults now, and so are their fans. Naturally, it makes sense that they're making grown-up music. When I stopped to think about that, it's actually very cool that I don't resonate with it. I keep thinking about someone who's a hardcore fan of Paramore. There's a high chance that this hardcore fan of Paramore probably start liking them back then in early 2000s. Feels like the album is for them, for the Paramore band members, and for those fans that grew up with them. They're growing up together, and I love an artist do that. Your music is maturing as you do. That's really cool. So one problem that I have with Avril Lavigne, for example, like literally no one talked about her right now, but I have to bring this up. One thing that really bothers me about her is that she is in her 30s now, mid 30s or late 30s. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but it does, because she's like in her mid-30s singing about how boys lie. Like, it looks like and it sounds like something that doesn't connect anyone to anything. It doesn't make sense for you to see and listen to a grown woman talking about teenage stuff. So it's really nice that they're not making that kind of music anymore, because it wouldn't make much sense. So maybe when I get older and only talk about doctor appointments, and I'm not that far. Okay, I'm not that far. Paramore even said in some recent interviews that those past years, especially the pandemic, was their first real experience as adults. And the album screams that millennial. It was the only thing that I could think about. And I totally don't say this in a bad way, but if you listen to the album, it's all about like chiropractor appointments and politics. Overall, the sound is a way more mature and classier and sophisticated. If I could define the album in one word, it's not gonna be a one sentence. It would be drinking white wine at night in your Silver Lake apartment after a stressful day at work. And I'm not there yet. It's just for you to get red wine, sit your ass, and listen. Listen, pay attention. Those details, they're there. I love Paramore for staying true to themselves. I love them for that. Again, my religion does not allow me to say anything bad about Paramore. Okay, so we're gonna go over it track by track because I want to. We don't have anything better to do. I'm trying new things on this channel, okay? And we're gonna try to talk about them in less than 1 minute. It might not be less than 1 minute, but I'm gonna say the first thing that comes to my head. I don't know, I feel like it's a useful way to give you a spoiler about the songs if you haven't listened to the album yet, and then I can share my favorites and everything. It was love at first listen. It totally created expectations in my mind. I thought the album was gonna be with that energy. It was love at first listen, and we've been together ever since then. That's a very Paramore song. I have my moments. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, but overall I really like this track. It is the best track of the album, right? And they're getting a music video too. Maybe by the moment that this video is out, the music video is out as well. I have a love and hate relationship with this one. I feel like it's a little bit repetitive sometimes, but Hayley's voice speaking through the song makes a difference. Least favorite. It sounds nothing like Paramore and sounds a lot like Paramore. It's probably my favorite track of the album. I love this song when I'm listening to the album, but I wouldn't pick this song in the middle of my liked songs. I did not like this one at all until I paid attention to the drums, which is a victory because our boy Zac is back, very good and doing a great job. Congrats. Again, I have to sit my ass and listen. If I'm doing something else and listening to the song, I'm not gonna hear it. It's a good song, but it's actually very confusing to think how different this song looks from the first track, which was also the first single. Again, that made me create a lot of expectations. I was expecting more energy there. It's okay, I guess after 30, you kinda wanna do a little more. I'm not gonna do more videos like this, so let me know if you want more videos like this about new albums of bands and artists that we like. But if I do, I wanna put this in the end of every video. Would I buy this album or not? Would I go to Amoeba right now and spend money on this album? As a Paramore pop and girly, no. It didn't really do that much to me. I found it a little bit boring at times. I don't feel like I can listen to it in different situations. But if you like alternative pop or Paramore's more recent stuff like the After Laughter or the self-titled album, for example, you're totally gonna love this album because it is a good album. It makes sense that I don't like those albums and that the sound is very similar, but again, if you like that kind of stuff, you're totally gonna like this. Like I said, it's a way more mature, the lyrics are great, and of course we can never turn away the opportunity of hear Hayley saying or singing whatever she's saying or singing. It's just not my vibe and it's just not for me, and I wouldn't put it as one of my favorite albums of the year, even though the year just started. I do encourage you to listen to the album though, so you can take your own conclusions, and if you do, please share your thoughts with me, okay? I love reading the comments and responding to them.